Morning. Out you come then. Well, I'm here in my shed with a cup of tea. It's a little bit of a different video today. I'm not feeling particularly well, sore throat and earache and just really achy bones and muscles. So I haven't taken much footage over the last few days. I've just been trying to get through, making sure the animals and everything is just ticking over. So I will take you around and show you some of the chores I'm doing today. But again, it's going to be quite a brief video. And thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate everybody that's subscribed to my channel and everybody that takes the time to watch my videos. It's an enormous help to me that people subscribe and hit the like button, and even better if they leave a comment, which I love responding to all the comments I get. That's a fun thing to do. I am watching everybody else's videos. If you're there and wondering why I haven't left a comment, I'm watching them. I'm trying to leave a heart in the comments or something in there for you so you know I've been, but just really sleeping a lot in between doing one day. Trying to recuperate and get well. Yeah, so a bit of a shorter video than usual this week, and yeah, enjoying my cup of tea. I'm hiding in the shed drinking tea a lot just to keep going. Okay, hope you enjoy. Take care. Out you come then. Out foraging. Okay, top that one up in a minute. Top the water up, they filled it up. I put new wood shavings in yesterday, and whenever I do that, they completely fill their water drinker with wood shavings, so they can't get to it. Completely full of wood shavings again. Look. They're just coming up for 21 weeks, so in theory I should have eggs any time, but none yet. Hey girls, you need to get a move on. It's getting lame for me. These guys get thinned out next, in the next week or two. I've got a lot of boys in here. If you look, they're all cramming in to come out. All these ones at the front are boys. There's a girl there at the front, just the one among the swarm of boys. Out of all those light Sussex, there are only 4 girls in the whole batch, which is disappointing. But as you can see with these guys, a lot more feeders and drinkers in here. They do knock them over, and they get, look, completely empty. These guys are vultures, but again, completely full of wood chips. They scratch and it just fills them up. So go and refill those. You enjoy scratching around there while I do this job. This troublemaker, he starts fights and then he loses them. I can't put him in with the others because every single time, without fail, he starts a fight. But you can see he's slightly bald from where he's been plucked by the others. I'm sure he's a boy, which I think is leading to why he's starting so many fights. But he's one that I have to go because it's not healthy for his mental health to be completely alone, and I can't put him in with anything else because he'll either get battered or he'll batter something else. He's just got a bad attitude. Here we go, taking the feed, and watch how they flock around the feeders and put them in. And they're coming running already. Here you go. got my bucket of water, so I'm going to head down, feed the pigs now, give them some water. Kevin is waiting very patiently, pacing by the food bucket. No, this is the food bucket, don't you? And you're squealing because I haven't fed you this morning. Up a bit. They aren't going to be very content because I'm lowering the ration. What I have noticed is Kevin, in particular, is getting very overweight. The area where the pigs are, I will move them on in a couple of days, but it's dry underfoot and they like to tear up at the ground. But as soon as it rains, that will turn quite muddy. So when it gets a bit damp, I'll put them on some fresh pasture so that doesn't happen. But in the areas where they have been, you can see there are muddy bits, but the grass is coming back quite nicely. So you can see this is buckwheat here, but it's a buckwheat Vasilia rye and vetch mix. But the buckwheat's always the first thing to come up, and that's great because it will fill this in and carpet it in green, and then they will root it all up and they will eat it all again, and then I'll start again. And very kindly I have some vetch and some ryegrass which is being sent from Claire at the farmyard garden, so I shall be using that to change over because the buckwheat and Vasilia are a summer cover crop and won't grow so well from now on, particularly heading into November. So that will be great. So I will sprinkle that on wherever they have been. So the next area that will go is here when they move, and then the next time when they move around on the circuit, there'll be something there for them to dig in and root up. So that will be really, really useful. So although I haven't really done very much in the gardens this week because I've been poorly, as I say, haven't felt great. I've done a little bit, but every day I like to just walk and check on them because it kind of prevents problems building up. So for instance, in the flower garden, I put the row cover on because I noticed very quickly, kind of within a day, that the pheasant, who likes the pig feed, was coming up and eating the lupins, so I put a row cover on. So it's kind of things like that. Like I could have, if I'd not noticed for a day or two, lost the entire row of lupins there. So that's why I just once or twice a day just walk and just look, even if I'm not able to do any jobs. I've put in the pathway, which is nice, and the allium bulbs and the my brain is very fuzzy with this. The other things, it'll pop into my brain. I put it on the screen. Sunflowers, very much over now, but it was a really good experiment, and they sold really, really well. A local florist picked them up, and I also had them bunches in a local gift shop. And then in the perennial garden, I've got a little bit of video. I might edit it and pop it in, where I planted Chilean, not Peruvian, Chilean guava, and my pomegranate, and I'll put some footage of planting that and my thoughts on those two plants in there. Hiya guys, I'm really excited. I've received a package in the post and I have cheated. I've opened the top and had people inside. I'm very excited about what's in here. So let's take a look. Cardboard. Really well packaged there. This is a pomegranate. It's great. Ooh, this one already has a few little berries on it. This one is a Chilean guava. I thought it was a Peruvian guava, but Chilean apparently. Now they're both frost tolerant to minus 15 degrees Celsius. We don't get anywhere near those low temperatures here in Cornwall. I think they will do fine here. Yeah, so let's get these in the ground. Yeah, so it does have roots right down to the bottom, but I would have said it could have done with a better root structure. I don't think it got potted on too long ago. I'm here with a cup of tea now. I do feel like I need to talk about those plants. So the healthy plants, they were well packaged, but I paid for plants in a certain litre pot size because you expect that pot to be full of roots, and clearly, particularly the pomegranate had so recently been potted up that you could see a clear delineation between the 1 litre pot that it had been in and the compost at the bottom. And on most sides there were no roots that had gone through. There was just one little root down one side that had made its way into the compost, but it hadn't actually reached the bottom. I had paid, both of those 2 plants with the postage was in excess of £50, and I felt like I got 1 litre pot plants for the same price. I could have got 2 really, really good, strong, robust fruit trees from grafted fruit trees from Wallicotts. I would be much happier if they just left them in the 1 litre pots and sent them at that price. I will email them and see what they come back with, and if it's interesting I will update you. But the perennial garden, having decided to start again with wonky lines, I started in the corner by the pond. I was really happy with that, and then I'm kind of working my way down and through with rhubarb patch, blueberries, and then here I've got my guava and my pomegranate and some other bits and pieces I've put in. And this is a side of keeping animals they don't ever put on Instagram, so the insides get really gross and they need cleaning up. Now the galvanised ones don't do this, but if you keep poultry for any length of time, you realise that what the chickens really need is, this is gross and covered in slime, is apple cider vinegar. And if you keep them long enough and you're silly enough to put your apple cider vinegar in your galvanised water containers, you discover that it rusts holes in them. It's a very expensive exercise. So you then go and buy plastic drinkers that you can put apple cider vinegar in. And you just put a tiny bit, maybe tablespoons worth in a 5 litre one like this, and a teaspoon or so in a 1 or 2 litre pot. It's a really tiny bit, but it keeps them much healthier, keeps their feathers in good condition and their gut health and things. But then after a couple of weeks you discover you've got the amazing job with the brush and the cold water of scrubbing them out and cleaning them. That's all cleaned up, so I'll get those filled up and put back. Now chickens are a great way to get into animal keeping if you're thinking about something farm animal wise, as long as you keep their drinkers and feeders clean like that. And it doesn't need disinfecting all the time, it just needs a bit of a scrub to make sure there's nothing really disgusting in there. They have quite a robust immune system if you let them have exposure to some non-sterile things, but that's great. You'll have very few problems with them. Really, they need somewhere warm and dry to sleep, somewhere to roost at night. They need their food and water to be kept clean, and their food is usually in the run. I put it out first thing in the morning, but before I leave I pop it in the inside the run to protect it from any rodents that might get in there, and other wild birds going and contaminating it as well. Food wise, you can just general mix, layers, pellets, top it up with lots of wild forage, grass and greens they'll eat, seeds they will eat, bugs and things they will eat. Offer them grit, offer them oyster shell if you've got laying hens, a little bit of apple cider vinegar in their water. I give them chili every now and then just to help keep their gut health through. And then the only bit that's a bit complicated is their wormer, but then speak to somebody in your area, an expert, wherever you purchase your poultry supplies from, they'll talk you through that, or your vet. And they're really easy to keep, they're really rewarding, and they don't have very many health problems.